Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something you probably walk past every day without a second thought, the humble office printer. But what if I told you it's secretly a massive, complex cost center? Well, today, we're going to uncover that, and, more importantly, figure out how to get it all under control. So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your office printer quietly burning through thousands of dollars? Because, chances are the answer is yes. Get this. Some research shows that companies can spend up to 3% of their entire annual revenue just on printing. That's not just a utility bill, right? That is a huge and usually totally unmanaged business expense. And this quote from a sysadmin on Reddit, it just hits the nail on the head. Think about that. Color printing can be like 10 times more expensive than black and white. So one tiny single colored pixel in an email signature logo can trigger that higher cost, turning a cheap print into a really expensive one, and nobody even notices.
Okay, so what's the fix for all this chaos? Well, there's a professional solution for it, and it's called Managed Print Services, or MPS for short. This is basically the industry's answer for how to wrangle your entire print environment back into shape. So what is Managed Print Services, really? Look, it's way more than just a service that automatically orders toner when you're running low. It's the whole shebang, a comprehensive service that bundles your printers, the software to run them, all the supplies, and the support, all under one single contract. And the big goal here? Simple. Boost your efficiency and, you guessed it, cut those crazy costs.
And the pros, providers like HP, they don't just wing it. They follow a really structured, proven methodology. It's a whole 6-step process that takes you from the very beginning, defining what you actually need and designing a solution, all the way through deploying it, monitoring it, and then providing that crucial ongoing support. It's all about making sure the implementation is smooth sailing. Okay, that all sounds great, right? So if MPS is the perfect solution, why doesn't it always work out? Well, the road to those savings is, let's say, littered with potential potholes. We're going to dive into the 4 most common pitfalls that can cause these big initiatives to completely fall flat. And believe me, the stakes are really high. This quote from the tech blog Metrofuser, it doesn't pull any punches. Wow. A botched MPS rollout isn't just a minor headache. It can be a massive 6-figure failure. That's why understanding these pitfalls is absolutely critical. All right, pitfall number 1, failing to plan. This is where you think the software itself is some kind of magic bullet. But as one expert put it, a workshop full of professional tools does not make you a master carpenter. You absolutely need a clear, documented plan. Without one, that super powerful, expensive software just sits there collecting digital dust. Okay, on to pitfall number 2, and it's a big one. Lack of proper documentation. I mean, you've got to write down your processes, your procedures, the actual business rules. It's pretty simple, right? You can't improve what you don't measure, and you can't govern a process that, on paper, doesn't even exist. The third huge mistake? Ignoring your IT department. Seriously, whether your IT folks are in-house or you've outsourced them, they are the gatekeepers of your network. If they're left in the dark about how the program actually works, or even worse, if they don't know it's a business priority, the whole project is basically dead in the water. And that brings us to the final pitfall: no follow-through. Look, the work isn't done once everything's installed. That's really just the beginning. So many companies get distracted by the next shiny object, and they just stop managing the system long-term. And what happens? They never, ever see the full return on that big investment they made. Okay, so enough doom and gloom. We've seen the common problems, we know the pitfalls. Let's pivot now and talk about solutions. How do you actually make this work? How do you avoid those traps and finally move from chaos to control? Let's get into some proven strategies from people who are really in the trenches doing this stuff every day. And check out this piece of advice from a sysadmin on Reddit. It is so simple, it's brilliant. Just that one little change forces people to think. It builds in accountability right at the source. And this idea leads us right into what I call the Q conundrum. A super common but totally flawed setup is having two separate print queues for the same physical printer. You know what that does? It just invites mistakes. People will absolutely, inevitably, send a simple black and white document to the expensive color queue by accident. The smarter, streamlined way? One single print queue that defaults to black and white. It forces that conscious and much cheaper choice. So how do you actually enforce these rules? Well, there are specific tools for this. We're talking about software like PrinterLogic and PaperCut. These are the go-to tools for sysadmins. They're what lets you set those black and white defaults, or even use pop-ups that show user, hey, this color print job is going to cost X dollars, before they click OK. And on top of that, things like universal print drivers make life so much easier for IT, letting them manage the entire fleet with just one driver.
All right, so you've dodged the pitfalls. You've put the right strategies and tools in place. So, what's the payoff? What's the real bottom line? Let's talk about the tangible, measurable benefits you get from a well-run managed print program.
And let me tell you, the difference is dramatic. We talked about that 3% of revenue number for unmanaged printing. Well, a successful MPS program can knock that down way down. We're talking about freeing up a significant amount of cash that can go towards, things that actually grow the business. So, what's the big headline number everyone talks about? 30%. Service providers consistently find that a really optimized MPS program can slash all of your print-related expenses, not just toner, I mean everything, by up to 30%. That's a huge, tangible saving that goes straight to the bottom line.
But you know what? It's not even just about the money. Security is a massive benefit here. Independent analysts consistently name providers like HP as leaders in print security. So you're not just saving a bunch of cash, you're actively plugging what can be a major, often overlooked vulnerability in your network.
And this level of security is often built on a principle called zero trust. It sounds cool and it's really important. It basically means that nothing, and I mean nothing, is trusted by default. Every single printer, every user, every request to access something has to be verified every time. In today's world of nonstop cyber threats, this isn't a luxury. It's an absolute necessity.
So let's just recap the big wins here. A successful MPS strategy gives you significant cost reduction, automated supplies and maintenance, which means way less downtime, beefed up endpoint security, and it even helps you hit your sustainability goals. It's not just a fix for one thing, it's a truly holistic improvement across the board. And that really brings us to the final thought. Your print fleet doesn't have to be this forgotten, chaotic corner of your business. Right now, it might be a hidden cost center, just quietly draining your resources. But it could be a strategic, secure asset that actually makes your business more efficient and safer. So the real question is, which one are you going to choose to build?